Hello everyone, I'm Yusira from Tan Monash and welcome to Rushd's first podcast. We're here to talk about everything to do with dormitory life and I'm joined by Naila from Stanford.
Hi guys!
So Naila, before we do anything, let's start with the easy questions. So how did you learn about this? What did you hear? What was the first thing that you heard and what made you sign up to this school?
Okay, so actually, I heard about this school when it was November 2023, so last year, and it was a fine day. It was a very nice morning. The sun was out, and then my parents knocked on my room. Tuk tuk tuk. Kak, look at this school. And so I looked at their phone, and I saw SMA Unggulan Rushd scholarship.
Damn.
Yeah, and it was the first batch actually.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh really?
As well, yeah. Damn, that's cool. Wow. Damn. And then after that, did you do any prior research about the school, or did you know that this school was a dorm or a boarding school, or was that a shock to you?
Okay, so before I applied to this scholarship, of course, I had to do my research. So it wasn't very surprising or shocking that this school was a boarding school.
All right. Speaking of boarding, when you first came here, what was your first impressions, and did it meet your expectations, or tell us some things about it?
So actually, I first came to the school when I had to do the interview test for the first batch. So my first impression to the school was, wow, the school is very modern.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, right?
Super modern. The architecture is just mind-blowing, especially compared to my old school. I was just mind-blown when I
same
first came
here.
here. Yeah.
So when I was touring around the school, every single corner of the school was very mind-blowing. I especially liked the dormitory, actually.
Yes, I agree. So what did you find special about it?
So one room consists of 4 people. That was the first shocking thing, because most of dormitory schools, most of boarding schools consist of more than maybe 5
Yeah,
people.
I can attest. I can be
Testimony.
I have a personal testimony for that because I went to a boarding school as
Oh,
well.
really? How's that?
For junior high school, and we had 8 people in
8
the room.
people?
Yeah, it was. We had bunk beds.
Bunk beds?
It was definitely a relief to come here for me. Yeah. So, what did you like about the room? Any
Okay.
particular interest? Any particular insights you have?
So other than being very, like I said, modern, every part of the school is very modern. I really like that. I really liked how all the furniture, all the beds, and all the chairs were arranged, and all the wardrobes.
Yeah, I agree. It was like consistent aesthetically with like the rest of the school. And one other thing that I really like about the dorms are the air conditioners. Like that was a shock for me when I came here because in my previous boarding school in junior high, I only had 2 air fans.
Whoa.
So it was really
It was very
hot.
good.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm glad that we have air conditioners for each room in the school. Moving on, maybe to the time you came here. So you talked about what your first impressions were in the dormitory life. How about your first time adapting to the school life, and how did you manage between academics and your boarding or your personal life in the dorms?
Okay, so before I went to the school, I was in a state school in junior high school. So I had to adapt to a lot of things here, especially since it's a boarding school. I have to be very, very, very far away from my family.
Yeah.
So talking about adapting, I had a bit of difficulties adapting here. I had difficulties, keeping up with the dormitory schedule and also maybe the school schedule. But as of right now, I think I'm doing better.
Oh, that's good. I'm proud of you for doing that.
Thank you.
Anyways, moving on to the next topic. You talked about living far away from your family. Do you get homesick often?
Okay, so actually, this is very strange for me because, like I said before, I'm very far away from my family. But I'm not really that homesick.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there a particular reason for that? Do you feel more free now that you're here?
I actually don't know. I'm just living my best life here in Rus. But I, do sometimes miss my family since, my family
Matters.
Yeah, family matters.
Yeah, well, that sounds like that life's been going good for you. Moving on to the next topic. So, since you came here, did you have any big challenges? Have you faced any difficulties, like a significant one that made you rethink about what you had to do and reflect as a person?
Okay. So, since, like I said before, this is a dormitory, and I had to really reflect on myself because I needed to, manage my time better. Since here the schedule is very
super
tight.
packed.
Yeah. So, if maybe let's talk about this, our schedule, our day-to-day life here in SMA Unggulan Rushd. So, first of all, we wake up at 4:30 in the morning to do morning prayer, and after that we go back to our dorm at maybe around 5, and between 5 to 6:30 we usually prepare to go to school, and at 6:30 we go to the dining hall to eat breakfast together, and at 6:30 to 7 we go to our class, and we wait for the morning assembly at 7:30. Yes, and after that, after the morning assembly, we go back to our class, and at 8 we start our lessons.
All right.
And our school ends at 3. Yeah, and at 3 until maybe 5:45. That's usually our free time.
Yay.
Where we can maybe sleep, do homework, take baths. And after 5:45 we go to the masjid to do Maghrib and Isha prayer, and after that we go back to our dorms at 7:20, and to prepare for the self-study that is held at 7:30, and we're usually done doing self-study at around 9, right? Yeah, and after self-study, that's
sleep time.
Yeah, sleep
time. It's time to take a
time.
rest. Do you think with that packed schedule, do you feel overwhelmed? Do you think that it's been easy facing these new time management? And what are your initial thoughts about it?
So actually, before I went to SMA Unggulan Rushd, before I had to deal with this very tight schedule, I usually woke up at around 5.
That's relatable.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
very
very
shocking
relatable.
because here at SMA Unggulan Rushd, we have to wake up at 4:30.
Yeah, 4:30, 4:50.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
surprising for me. And other than that,
That's it, or true. I think just adapting to the
school schedule.
Yeah, the school schedule is one of the biggest challenges for most people here.
Yes.
Next, so since we're living in a dorm, we live with other people, with 3 other people. How do you manage your personal space and your personal belongings?
Personal belongings.
So, can you tell us more about that?
Okay, since we live in a dormitory school, boarding school, and we share a bedroom with 3 other people. So there are 4 people in total living in one room, sleeping in one room. And to protect my belongings and to separate my belongings from my other roommates' belongings, I usually use organizers. Yeah, like those mini baskets or those like mini cups that you can put.
Those cute ones.
Yeah, those cute ones. I usually use those to, organize my belongings, and so that our stuffs don't get mixed up, And so far, nothing of my belongings are gone.
And I think that's a good way to
Yeah.
manage that. Okay, maybe I should try that next time.
You should.
And moving on, since we're talking about personal belongings and our life in the dorms, what do you usually do in your free time?
Okay, so usually in my free time, that's usually at between 3 until 5:45, right? I usually sleep.
Of course. Yeah, I did the same.
That's a must.
Yep, definitely.
If not sleeping, I usually, take a shower. But since that takes up only maybe 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
With that remaining time, I usually connect and bond with my roommates or with my other classmates, and just go to their rooms and just talk with each other.
That's nice.
Yes.
Alright, that makes me curious. Do you think there's a difference between weekdays and weekends?
Here. So, weekdays, we have a very packed schedule, here doing our school studies. But in weekends, we usually are allowed to go outside of our school to be with our family. But if you're not scheduled to be with your family in the weekends, you can just usually stay in the dorm. I usually stay in the dorm.
Same.
Oh, you too.
Yeah, but sometimes the teachers and the wardens invite us to come and play somewhere.
Yeah.
Have you been out before?
Yes.
Oh, where?
I've been to the market.
Oh.
And also Solo Paragon.
Oh yeah. Of
Yeah,
course. That's
we
a
went shopping.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
It was
fun.
very fun.
Yeah.
I also heard that they went to Tawangmangu.
Yeah, I went to Taiwan.
you went
Yeah, I
there?
went there to pick some
How was
strawberries.
it?
It was really cold over there, but it was fun because we ate some strawberries and yeah, it was kind of fun. Okay, I think we have only a few questions left. So, Naila, after our 2 months here, 2 and a bit, I guess, do you think that your life in the school, in the boarding school, has changed you in any way as a person? Do you think you learned any lessons, maybe?
Very interesting question. So, personally, I think that I have changed a lot from who I was before until now, a student here studying here in SMA Unggulan Rushd. So, since this school is a boarding school, I of course had to, adapt to the school schedule and, just living in a dormitory. And I have learned to, just to balance my time and to balance my top priorities, what to prioritize the most, and, just how to manage my time better.
All right.
Yeah.
So, do you think you became more independent after this experience?
Absolutely.
All right. I think that's a good thing to learn and something that the listeners should also learn as well. And adding on to that, do you have any advice for people out there who want to join a boarding school, maybe just like this?
Okay. So, for those of you guys who are watching, and maybe those of you who want to join a boarding school, maybe here in SMA Unggulan Rushd, some tips from us would be, number 1 is to prepare your well-being and prepare your mental, because you will be very far away from your family and you will be living with other people who you maybe wouldn't know.
Yeah, haven't met before. Some
before.
strangers that would eventually become your friends.
Yes.
But yeah, I think adding on to that, we have to be more independent, like as I said before, and be better at managing your time and socialize. Don't forget to socialize with the people around you, and don't forget to ask for help. We have a connection, we have a network of teachers, wardens around us who are ready to help you whenever you need. And yeah, I think that's all there is. All right, I think that wraps up our conversation for today. So that's it, guys. I'll talk about dormitory. Thank you so much for joining us in this podcast. I'm really glad to have your time here. And
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, thanks so much. And I think since we are reaching our end of our podcast, thank you so much to you guys watching for joining us in this talk, and really hope you join us on the next episode. Again, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our high school's channel, and post a comment and let us know how you're feeling. Again, I'm Yusira and this is Naila, and thank you for watching.
Bye-bye!